computer. Okay. Thank you, Miss Zoom lady.
Miss Zoom lady.
Miss Zoom lady. One of these days, Tim, I'm going to have the ability to just come in here, roll out the recording, and not have any technology issues.
You know, so you have a camera on your laptop and the phone?
Yes, so the phone's recording my guests, and I'm recording myself on the laptop.
Okay.
One of these days, we'll get the studio set up.
No cameras.
Well, no, we're just gonna like put a camera up on the wall.
No.
Oh, come on, come on.
Radio, not television.
Hey now. Okay. All right. Well, good morning.
You got some people here that already impressed me because there's now meat in the studio, which is always a good thing.
I know. Like I'm really jealous. Actually, we're gonna, call it jelly. I'm really jelly for you.
You can have it if you want.
No. I just got a full mutton, and it was like 30 pounds heavier than what I was actually anticipating. So my freezer is literally like open slowly and hold. Find what you need. Hurry, shut. Which I guess is a good problem to have, right?
Okay.
Good morning. It's McKinnon Hansen. Thank you for joining us for Wired Wednesday on KSUB 590 on your Wednesday commute. It's so exciting today to not only have Mike back in studio, but to bring on his better half, LeeAnn. How are you doing today, LeeAnn? Good. So with that, they want to talk about what's going on and how they're really making a difference within their freight system that they have going on. And it's really brought some really cool community aspects into Iron County, and really it can be taken around the world. With their Mad Freight or Making a Difference freight systems, they have the ability to do peer-to-peer shipping with the different products and items that people need throughout Southern Utah and throughout the world. You can pick up things or request things on trucks that don't necessarily have a full load and whatnot. So kind of walk us through why you guys developed this, or really how you saw the need and how you're fulfilling that need here in Iron County.
Wonderful. Thank you again so much, McKinnon, for the opportunity to be here. I'm grateful to be here with my better, not my better half, my better 98%. I always say.
Sorry, better 98%. I apologize.
She's the one. I'm grateful to be here with her. So Mad Freight in a nutshell. Several years ago, we're farmers over in Parowan. We had to go to Idaho to get a fertilizer spreader. My dad and I, we drove half the night, slept for 2 or 3 hours, and then got up really early and headed into Caldwell, Idaho, picked up our spreader.
Okay. Caldwell, that would be
It was a jaunt and a half. So we get up there, we pick it up, drive all the way back to Parowan. Within a couple of hours, some of the guys from Stokes Equipment in Burrell pulled up to our shop. And they were just talking to us and visiting, dropping some things off. And they said, "Where have you guys been?" And we said, "We just got home from Caldwell." And I said, "Caldwell? We were there yesterday. We just picked up this spreader." They said, "Why didn't you tell us we were going? We'd have brought it home for you for nothing." And right then it was like, we've had this idea for many, many years. But at that point, it was like, we have got to do something about this, because I hear this constantly. People are always going places. You bump into your neighbor, your next door neighbor down here in Cedar. You go up to Salt Lake to get some things. You bump into somebody in your community that would have easily picked those items up for you, whatever it is, something small, something big, and everything in between. So we started pushing forward, eventually developed this app, which has been on the App Store for 2 years now, just past 2 years. We're completely finished with the iOS version, and we're getting extremely close with Android. So that's kind of how we got started. My wife's going to talk about some of the ways that we can use this and some of the things. I'll hold up this little sign. I hope people can see it. You can just go through those to kind of explain what we're all about.
And this is for the benefit of folks. Now, are you on Facebook right now, or are you just?
No, I'm not on Facebook right now. And so that's kind of the technology issue. It's not connecting to the Facebook account. So for those of you who cannot see the sign, and we're going to push this onto Wired Wednesday with McKinnon Hansen on the Facebook page. It says, "Why should I use Mad Freight? Get paid while commuting, have supplies delivered to work, curbside grocery pickup, make money on a road trip, create a job for yourself, utilize your truck bed, same day delivery, trucks can eliminate empty driving, and Costco delivery" are some of the features that this Mad Freight system offers.
Okay, now,
So-
I need to step in here right now and ask. First of all, a couple of questions. Do you mind?
Of course not.
Does someone have to have a truck, or could you use like an SUV or something like that? Would that be something you could use?
It doesn't matter what, the load could be a computer, or I left my kid's blanket at grandma's house, or anything. It's from as small, any kind of item to business type loads. So you don't have to have any specific vehicle to be able to use it.
Okay, and then what are the qualifications for people that would be involved in helping you deliver things?
So you just download the app and you fill out the information on there. It requires a little bit of personal information so that we can keep it safe. And there's a map that has little pins on it, like the Google marker pins that say where it's coming from and where it needs to go to. And if you can deliver it, you click on it and commit to it. So you don't have to be employed by us or have any.
In fact, the people really are not your employees per se.
No, we just are there to make that connection between the people who need something and the people who can help deliver.
I mean, because I love to drive. It's one of my favorite things is just drive. And if I could go and drive and maybe make it so I wasn't, if I could at least break even on gas, at least that would be a huge thing.
That's one of our biggest things is if let's say you're going to Salt Lake on the weekend. So you put on Mad Freight today. I'm leaving here Friday afternoon. I'll be in Salt Lake for a few days, returning Sunday evening. I'll pick up whatever will fit in the back of my car. You might have 3 or 4 people that need maybe a laptop, maybe a pair of shoes. Maybe they need something really important for their business that has to be here. And they don't want to send an employee up there on the weekend and pay $5 a gallon for gas, but they're more than willing to pay you. And you can put on there, I will pick up whatever for this price. You get to determine the price of the shipping, the pickup, whatever it may be.
Oh, really?
In-app messaging, Google Maps is built right into there. So you drop a pin right on the exact business location, wherever it may be, to pick up whatever you need. And so there's no getting lost. It's just all right there built into the app. Very, very user friendly. Anybody can use the app. Very easy to use and navigate through.
So I can see all the wheels spinning in your brain, Dr. T.
Oh, yeah, I mean, look, I'm thinking of making some adjustments in my life. And frankly, if I could find a gig where I'm on the road a lot, until there's 6 feet of snow out there.
But even still, you could change your route. So instead of going up to Idaho and Montana and the loop down through Colorado.
Hey, Phoenix sounds good here.
Right, then you could just do a southern loop. Granted, I wouldn't go down through the Cajon in any type of weather just because it's the Cajon and California traffic sucks. But you could literally go through the 15, hit San Diego, hit I-70. No, 70's north of us, whatever the freeway.
10 is in San Bernardino. That's the one that goes east-west towards Phoenix. I-40 is near.
You could make the Phoenix loop over through New Mexico, pop back up onto, I don't know, whatever else goes through all of that. You can tell that I travel in the South, said no one ever.
Although amazingly, the last time we went down to California, you're right, the traffic sucked until we got to LA, and then it cleared up. I go, oh, God.
Well, some people say LA's moving north.
Oh,
So anyways, back to the Mad Freight. It's really curious to me because it seems like, I mean, and Mike, we've talked about this before, doing good things forward, paying it forward, type of thing. And it seems like Mad Freight or Making a Difference Freight is really paying it forward. It's getting people reconnected with the principles of being human, helping each other out. Now, yes, there's some external cost to that, fuel, wear and tear on a vehicle or whatever else. But if you're already going somewhere and you can help a neighbor in need, get supplies they need, let's say it's for insulin or some type of medication or something that's in Salt Lake or that's in Vegas, and people are going there anyways, getting those resources back home is a whole nother dynamic to what Iron County and the different businesses we have here provide for us.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things that helps me the most is if we need something, again, back to the farm, I don't want to drive to Salt Lake to pick that up. But every time I go over the freeway or even Cedar, I don't want to leave. I'll be honest.
Wait, thank you for coming 2 times in a month down to Cedar then.
Yeah, write this down. Anyways, we appreciate the opportunity very much again. But if I can look out on the freeway and see how many people every few seconds are going north and south, now just quantify that with, okay, how fast could I get somebody from Salt Lake? The answer is 4 hours. I don't want to do next day air. In the world we live in today, next day air is way too slow. I need it today. Okay, if you have a breakdown or an emergency or whatever, you're going on a camping trip and what you need in this town is not here, but it's in Salt Lake, it's in Vegas, 3 hours, 4 hours, it's here. With Mad Freight, we make that possible.
Well,
They get on there and make that possible.
Well, if you had to do an up and back though, that's still gonna be 4 hours.
Well, the person is already in Salt Lake.
Okay, now
Yeah,
that's what I was wondering. So
Sorry, I'm glad you asked that question. That's a great point. So they're on the app before, now when you're on your trip coming home, before you come home from Salt Lake, you're pulling up Mad Freight. Hey, Mike Adams needs some parts at this John Deere dealership in Salt Lake. I'm gonna bring that down. Now that pays for my gas. That's the way that we want to make this work, because now you get paid not only to go up there and commute, it pays for your gas and your time. I get my parts. I don't have to go to Salt Lake. Everybody wins.
Well, and like, not even for me, so I travel all over Southern Utah. I go as far east. I have clients in Boulder, Utah, right? Well, no, Phoenix, like, oh man, that's a whole nother. Anyways, so I go as far east as Boulder. There are agents as far in Monticello and Moab and all through that eastern part. But if I could meet her in Boulder with products that people need from Boulder, or they're willing to even go halfway, that saves how many miles for everybody, right? But they needed, I'll just use this as a quick example. They needed Costco toilet paper. Okay, because everybody runs out of Costco toilet paper. If I'm going down through St. George and I have clients in Kanab, if even just the hour and a half to Page for her to come down the other side of the lake to meet me there to take it back to her clients, we're already providing synergy, right? Go ahead.
About how many people we've had through the Costco pickups. I think a lot of moms especially would love this example.
Well, even just last week, I had to go to St. George for some other stuff. We needed some running shoes for our daughter, but I brought stuff home for 3 different people from Costco. And it wasn't a big, I do have a Suburban, so I could fit a lot of stuff in the back, but it was just a handful of things, but for 3 different people. And if you can it's worth it for them to pay $10 or whatever to not have to go, because you'll save hundreds by just not stepping foot.
Right.
But so it was nothing extra for me to pick up a handful of extra things, but I was able to do that and pay a little bit of my own fuel. And this is no joke. The last time I was there, I waved at my next door neighbor on my way out the door, and I got out to my car and we were parked next to each other in the Costco parking lot. It's like, why are we both here?
Yeah.
Because he could have picked something up for me or I for him, and it just happens all the time. Every time we go.
How long till you get this thing on the Android phones?
We're extremely close, and I've learned in the technology world that close could mean a week and close could mean 3 months. And so iOS is working great. Android is so dang close. Even last night, we have a developer up in Salt Lake that has helped us tremendously. My brother originally built our app, Mad Freight, to start with, and then we transferred over when we implemented in the payment system. So you can get paid right in the app as well. You can get paid
like a Venmo type situation.
So it's
more like how the Uber does it. You input your financial information on the front end, and then it runs through like a secure Stripe payment system. And then on the back end, whoever delivers gets it in their bank account.
Yeah.
Well, and the website, even just madfreight.com on how it works and the testimonials and stuff, it has a lot of this information of how you can make money, where you can get deliveries, all of the different things. And so I really encourage people to go to madfreight.com, madfreight.com.
Let me ask you a question there. Now, you brought up the example of, say, you go up to Salt Lake and someone says, pick up a laptop for me. When I go to Salt Lake, usually don't have enough cash either in my wallet or on my debit card to say, oh, I'll just walk in and get a new laptop. So how do you do things like that? How does that work? Do they pre-order the laptop and pay for it and you just pick it up at the store up there?
Yeah, so it's not built to pay for the transaction itself. So if he gets parts from Oversons, and I do have to clarify, we come to Cedar very, very often. And what I meant by that was it's not worth it for him to like shut down whatever he's working on at the farm to run to Cedar. And so that's why it's worth it for us to pay somebody who's here, because hundreds of people are in Cedar from Parowan every day.
Right.
Sometimes it's me, most every day.
Right, but like
But,
doing different business activities
Right.
and whatnot.
They work down here, but
Well, and just think of Burl, and I mean, even Modena is becoming a growing metropolis. I think there's like 5 people there now. But people coming in from Lincoln County, you know, back and forth and every day, you know, there's so many things that go on. And the radio show does reach Lincoln County. So hi to all my folks out in Lincoln County. But it's really incredible the synergy that this can create and get humans talking to each other again.
So, but I'd like to go back to the question, yeah, so the laptop gets paid for how in that account?
On your credit card.
if you purchase something ahead of time, then the transaction for the delivery will take place within the app. So it doesn't cover your Costco groceries or whatever. You would have to take care of that transaction personally.
Right. So in other words, if I get a call saying, oh, you're in Salt Lake, grab this laptop for me, they've already ordered it and paid for it. I'm just going to whatever store they bought it from.
Right.
And picking it up.
Yeah, and that's one thing I love about the in-app messaging. A lot of people are very comfortable. Hey, just call me on my cell. Some people don't want people to have their cell number, so they'll just in-app message. So you never have to know the other person's cell number, person protection. But if you say, hey, give me a call when you get to the store. I've already paid for it. It's sitting right there. They'll have it ready for you. You pick it up. I'll pay you whatever you choose. Again, the $20 to $50, $100, whatever you choose that's fair. You get your laptop that afternoon. You don't have to drive to Salt Lake to pick that thing up anymore, or whatever it may be. We're talking about small things, animals, parts, anything from the smallest envelope to the biggest load on a semi, and everything in between. Whatever people need to pick up, be dropped off, we're here to help with that.
Well, and just talking to our friends that are in the construction business, one of them said that they're getting charged just these astronomical shipping charges to just get a pallet from here to Panguitch or Bryan Head or wherever this construction is happening. And we have people, farmers that we know of in all these communities, and they have trucks and trailers, and they're constantly coming back and forth for their own stuff. So
What's one more pallet?
right.
Absolutely. And then with the price of gas the way it is, and diesel especially, we're looking for opportunities to save money and save time. I think that's our two biggest things: save money, save time, and make a difference. I want to transition maybe just a little bit over into our why we do this. Okay. Let me back up just a little bit. The main reason that we are doing this app is to make a difference for as many people as we possibly can. I had the opportunity to serve as a bishop back in 2013 for 5.5 years. One of the greatest opportunities of my life and a great challenge. I learned there's a lot more people out there who are struggling physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. There's people that have been abused in every sense of the word. And as we talked about this, my wife and I, we realized that there is opportunities to do more than we're doing. And so as we talked about this together, we want to make a difference for as many people as we possibly can. As we generate more and more money, we want to do giveaways. We want to help people financially, physically, as much as we possibly can. When our soldiers go away and their wife and kids are home, there's an opportunity for us to step in financially and help them. There's a lot of people right now that are on a fixed income, especially seniors. And as costs and everything else is going up, there's an opportunity to help people like that.
But the government will take care of that.
Oh my.
The less government we have, the better. The more we take care of ourselves, the happier we are. And so really, those are some of the main reasons that we're doing this, is to make a difference and help people as much as we possibly can throughout the earth.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Sorry, we're running short on time. LeeAnn, thank you so much for coming into studio today and talking about Mad Freight. I really appreciate everything that we've talked about here on the air. Again, this will be posted on our Facebook with Wired Wednesday with McKenna and Hansen. I am your local Farm Bureau financial agent serving Southern Utah with all insurance products. My number is 435-592-2021. Thank you so much for joining us for Wired Wednesday.
And madfreight.com.
Mad Freight, MADFREIGHT.com, or find it on the ISO app, soon to be coming to Android.
Oh, so you did the EI thing.
Well, yeah, I know how to.
Unless we say different, is
Oh,
what that
my.
rule is.
Did I spell it wrong on
No,
there?
you were dead on. You were
man.
absolutely.
I did go to Lincoln County, guys. I mean, I did go to Lincoln. Anyways, long story short, thank you so much for joining us for Wired. Yep, I am a Lynx and I was a cheerleader, but I only lived there for an entire 11 months. So I don't know if one could say that I'm from Lincoln County.
That's a good place.
Yeah, Rachel is too small.
Oh, Rachel's just fine. You're not from Rachel, I mean, now.
All right, thanks, Tim.
Let's get a check of what's happening on the highways one last time this morning. Captain